So can Portugal, the team who've been dubbed the Brazil of Europe, take their place alongside England and the rest in the last 8 of Euro 96. For them, the situation is quite simple. Victory or even a draw will be enough to take Portugal through, but if they lose, it could let in the holders Denmark. Croatia, the first team to qualify for the quarter-finals, also have an incentive to win today. Victory for them would mean they top the group and therefore, of course, avoid the winners of Group C, which looks like being Germany. Reminder of the lineup, with Croatia making several changes, predictably, I think, and that includes leaving out Šuker and Boban, 2 of their star players. Portugal almost at full strength. Paulinho Santos, who has been playing at right back in the previous 2 games, is out suspended. Referee today is Bernd Heinemann of Germany. Portugal in their normal colours, Croatia in their first choice. Probably the worst strip in Euro 96, which they haven't worn so far. They've been playing in a change strip of all white. Portugal getting us underway, attacking from right to left. And alongside me today, Ron Atkinson. Ron, what kind of game are you expecting here?
Well, we see that Croatia have made an awful lot of changes, 7 changes from the side that's been playing, but they'll have players that will be playing for places, so I don't think they'll be terribly unsettled. Portugal, on the other hand, they're a very loose sort of 4-4-2, but they're a very flexible side. They switch, players interchange, and they play at a high tempo when they're playing well, a lot of 1 or 2 touch passing.
Croatia first onto the attack then. Kotu, the sweeper, barring the way to goal. Elder got it away, Prosinecki with the shot, and well blocked again by Oceano on the edge of his own box. That is a strange thing, really, that although Croatia have not by any means fielded their first choice 11, those who have come in, of course, have got a real incentive to play well on today.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, some of them were probably left out in the first place through injury and whatever, as people, particularly like Soldo and that, will not only will they want to make an impression here to stay in the side, they'll also want to make an impression because we understand they're looking for clubs in this country.
Croatians, a highly motivated side and a highly skillful one at that. But I think most neutrals would hope that Portugal go through with them. Portugal, if they win today, would in fact go through as group winners. Prosinecki wins it back. On the far side, Mladenovic. Straight into their attacking rhythm, Croatia, even though they are missing some of their star players. João Pinto, lucky to get a second bite at that one for Portugal. And now Figo. Secretario on the right, who's come in for Paulinho Santos, the suspended player. This is Dimash. Figo. Paulo Sousa. And Oceano had made a good run through the centre, the ball just too strong for him. Certainly English fans will be delighted to hear that Bilic, West Ham centre-back, is one of the first-choice players in the Croatian 11 today. Wearing number 16 here, Mladenovic, and Prosinecki, another of the star men. On this near side, Šimić. Mladenovic. Pavlicic. Keeps play moving on that far side with Soldo. Bilic. Portugal presented with a gift. Secretario, Sapinto making a run through the centre. The Croatian defence squeezes up, but they're still in trouble. The offside decision never came, and a chance here for Figo. Portugal take the lead in the 4th minute. Figo, the Barcelona man, gives them the perfect start. And Croatia pay the heaviest price for trying to play offside.
Yeah, well, this is great football. I mean, that was the cross there was the end product have a brilliant 1-2 in midfield. And Figo, who big Jack Charlton will know for the game he played in Dublin last year, takes it excellent. I mean, once it arrived at him, you know, he's never going to miss this. Great touch, slots the keeper. But just going back further than that, was a terrific 1-2 played in midfield that enabled that cross to be produced.
One of the quickest goals of the championships so far. Here's Simic for Croatia. Quite thread the ball through.
And you know, you just wonder, Alan, you just look and see there's been changes at the back. You know, Pavlicic has played quite a few games for them, and Soldo. But they've had a solid back three, if you like, in the previous games, and nobody's penetrated or pierced them. That's looked to be the base from which the Croatians have built in the other games.
Yes, the likes of Simic, the Derby County player, and also Jurkan have been figures in important figures as well in both the previous games, and obviously it's going to take time for them to readjust, and they haven't got that time now.
Well, you'd have to say it was also a lightning strike, wasn't it? Some great, and that's what they do. They play very rapid, quick one-touch passing, Portugal. I mean, just prior to that, Oceano had nearly got in on a break.
Well, I think Portugal, with a goal to the good, we might see a real exhibition of their skills here. They've been a little tense in the first two games against Denmark and Turkey because their goals didn't come till late on in those matches. I think they'll really turn it on here now.
Strangely enough as well, it's the quickest I've seen the Croatians start as well. They've been very, very leisurely in the previous games, in the opening half, if you like. But they've looked as if they're trying to pressurise the ball very quickly. Whether that's having fresh players in who are keen to do well.
So the reserve keeper, Mermic, his first job basically was to pick the ball out of the back of the net. Pavlicic, and now Bilic. Remember that Croatia are through, irrespective of what happens here. And that obviously must affect their thinking, though their coach Blažević has been keen to say that they believe passionately in the ethics of football, doing their best and being honest. So they'll keep going, as Blažević does here. Good challenge to dispossess him, though. Prosinecki wins it back. Now Bilic. Looking for some movement and getting it from a lively Blažević. Another excellent tackle by Paulo Sousa. Prosinecki, very prominent early on here. Simic. As he tried to go between the two players, he was quite deliberately fouled by Sapinto. Free kick to Croatia. Prosinecki will take the kick. Pavlicic, the centre-back, a possible target, but he slides it short to Simic. Pavlicic is still forward. He's thrown it over his head. That was a useful cross by Panic, which had Portugal in a moment's disarray. Easy interception, but Sapinto's given it away again to Prosinecki. Now Pavlicic. West Ham man Bilic continues the attack, but won back brilliantly by João Pinto. Luciano in possession now for Portugal. Secretario. He's leaving it again to João Pinto. Free kick to Portugal. Trying to claim he won the ball, but I'm sure the German referee was spot on with that decision. Figo, the goal scorer, keeps it flowing. Elder. That's a lovely through ball, well read by Pavlicic. Elder wins it back again, though. 0-2. And he scored the goal, of course, in the match here against Turkey, the winning goal as it happened. Rui Costa finds him again. And Motu was caught there, quite deliberately it seemed to me, by Panic as he played the ball away, and Panic becomes the first player cautioned. And I suspect the replay will show deservedly so.
Are you sure? I tell you what, he's hardly laid a glove on him there, hasn't he, Panic? I think Kuta has made quite a meal of that one.
Well, I think he did catch him, didn't he? Whether it was as bad as he made it look is irrelevant now, as goal scorer Figo tries to find a way through, and Bilic denied him. Evidently, the coach of Croatia told all his players that he wanted them to look neat and tidy with these championships. He didn't want any long hair, so one or two of them took that instruction rather too literally and have shaven their heads. There's 3 shaven-headed players out there, making life rather more difficult for the commentators, I've got to say. Now, Dimash, the offside flag was raised, even as Bilic made the tackle.
Yeah, the last man, Pavlicic, he was the one that played against England as a right fullback. He had a right long ponytail that match, didn't he? And actually did very well, I think, against Steve McManaman, I think it was.
Looking around the Portuguese players, they obviously have the opposite instruction. Don't get your hair cut by the looks of it. Either that or there's been a barber's strike in Portugal over the last few months. Here's Bilic. Kozinecki. Not enough movement for him up front, so he had to go back again to Pavlicic. Kozinecki.
Well, I think this is one of their boasts, if you like, of the way they play. They will say that they are prepared to pass the ball about and be the most patient team in the tournament, if you like. They will pass, and then they're not bothered about really upping the tempo too much.
They up the tempo with that through ball, just a bit too deep though for Vlahovic. Very good run as well made from midfield by Mladenovic. They even criticise themselves, some of these Croatian players, in saying that we play a very slow, what can be seen to be a boring game at times. We believe in patience. Nothing very patient about that challenge in midfield though. Mladenovic, the culprit. Figo felt the effects of his studs that time. Secretario. João Pinto. Figo joins the attack again. Dimash making a run down the left-hand side here. An excellent ball to find him. Rui Costa. Dimash. Just out of play, I think, before Figo reached it.
Yes, whilst they're both passing sides, I think the Croatians like to play a measured passing game, whereas Portugal are very neat, very quick, very sharp, very bright. They like to zip the ball about quicker.
Oh dear, unlike Kozinecki to get it as basically wrong as that. Excellent player, who could certainly help them in the next phase. A lot of experts around Europe always felt that Croatia were going to be one of the dark horses of these championships. The bookmakers reflected that in their odds, and they haven't let anyone down yet.
Didn't the coach also come out with some sort of quote saying we are the best team in the tournament?
He did. He said we will win the championships the moment they qualify. Touching the Alf Ramses from 1966, but a little more dogmatic than that. Šimic's cross is headed clear by Oceano. Now Kozinecki. Bilic. Simic. Excellent spin away by Jurcevic, and Kotu had to concede the corner. Croatia's first corner of the game. In the 15th minute, they trail 1-0 here. With the kick. Damage coming in on near the penalty spot, but the header was never really likely to trouble the goalkeeper, in all honesty, downward and not carrying any real power. Easy save for Bahia. Luciano. Secretario looking for João Pinto, but finding him in an offside position. Bilic, leaving it to Prosinecki. Good little ball, finds Vajovic. Just ahead of him was the striker Mamic. Second top scorer in the Croatian domestic league last season, he was, with 17 goals, and got a goal on his international debut as well against Hungary back in March. This is only his third cap. Here's another look at the goal run.
Well, that was the end of the 1-2. Just looks up, just whips it round the corner, beats every defender, and there you see Figo. Nice touchdown with his chest, flips it with the outside of his right foot, no problem.
Figo's 5th international goal in 31 games.
As I say, I saw him have an outstanding game at Lansdowne Road a couple of years back, but has never really cracked it at Barcelona. That's been a surprise.
The obstruction there by Secretario has given Croatia a free kick.
He'll find that problem a lot today, Secretario. Gianni is a very, very effective left-sided player for Croatia. Loves to drive, and they're at their best actually when he is driving down that flank.
Secretario himself is an attacking wing-back. Perhaps defending is not his finest quality. He was rated very highly by Bobby Robson when he was his manager at Porto, I remember. Free kick in towards big Panic, but Portugal dealt with it well. Simic. Mladenovic. It's a good ball. But again, the Portuguese defence looking powerful here as Panic wins the header. João Pinto with the clearance from deep inside his own territory. Excellent play by Figo. Portugal, remember, needing 1 point to be certain of reaching the quarter-finals. In fact, they could even lose and still go through, depending on what Denmark do against Turkey. If Turkey were to win that game, then certainly they could afford defeat. But clearly, with the games taking place simultaneously, as Scotland found to their cost last night, you've just got to get on with your own game and not worry about outside factors over which you have no influence. Dimash gives the ball away to Luciano. Still no goals, incidentally, in that other match up at Sheffield. Denmark against Turkey 0-0. Here's Dimash, and now Figo for Portugal. Lovely little back heeler, and offside. That was a shame. It was a beautiful move. Rui Costa just called offside.
Got some bright feet, haven't they? Look at this nice little layup there from João Pinto. It's marginal, you know. That's marginal. Look at the defender in the centre there.
Yes, the linesman a little bit twitchy with the flag that time.
I think they've been punished there for the quickness.
Goal kick to Jurcevic's disappointment.
They also, Portugal, probably play the closest passing game in the tournament. You know, whilst they do occasionally play a stretching pass, they also play an awful lot of passes that sort of 5-6 yard passes, but very, very quick, very instant, one touch.
Poor goal kick, straight to Pamic, Blajevic, Kozinecki, Jani attacking down that left side again. And got his cross in brilliantly, and a great save, and out again. Well, Bahia made a wonderful reaction save then, when it seemed odds on Croatia would go into equalise. Great attack.
Superb move down the left, and he's brilliant at that, Jani, whipping the ball in. Blajevic, it's a good save, probably not as good as we thought at first, Alan, but it still is a good save, but it's an excellent chance. I think Blajevic will be disappointed he didn't tuck that one away. He should have scored there. Some great play between Prosinecki and Jani on the left flank.
Blajevic getting up again, but Figo beat him to it. Jani. Good ball. Simic. It was aimed at Pamic. And well read by Bahia. First choice in the Porto goal for the last 8 years, and a very experienced international as well. 44th cap today for the Portuguese keeper.
And I would guess if they did particularly well in the tournament, he's one of those that would run David Seaman. Very close for the goalkeeper of the tournament, wouldn't he?
Certainly he's rated one of the top men in Europe, and a lot of speculation about his immediate future. In fact, he upset his coach by inviting his agent into the team's headquarters to discuss his future. Possible move to Barcelona on the cards. Well, that has subsequently been denied. Croatia, goal behind here with 25 minutes of the first half remaining. Simic in possession for that, Kozinecki. Mladenovic, Jani occupying a position out on the left as ever. Wants to hug that touchline and has got pace and crossing ability if they can get the ball out to him often enough. There's Pavlicic. 21 of the 22 players crammed inside one half of the field here. Soldo, the big centre-back, gets forward. Driven in, set up for Blajevic, good tackle by Couto. Sapinto. Rui Costa, the first-time ball for João Pinto. And it goes again to Sapinto. And set up for Rui Costa. And Rui Costa looks for Figo. It's been a lovely attack this by Portugal. Can they find the cutting edge? No.
Well, it's a brilliant setup, brilliant link-up play again. You just wonder whether Figo, pictured there, you just wonder whether he should have gone at the last man earlier. He checked, came back on his right foot. I wonder when the ball was played into him. Here's the link-up, 1-2. There's another pass across. Now, watch it here, Alan. I just wonder if he'd have attacked the last man there on the outside, whether they'd have finished up with a far better chance.
Sorry, I was going to say I saw a lovely description in one of the newspapers of Portugal of serial passers. They sometimes do pass the ball on for the sake of it, don't they?
Yeah, and they're playing against a team that also believe in that, but they pass a lot quicker. Portugal, they play quick. You know, it's almost as if they play everything 5 or 6 yards. It's very unusual for them to play a long stretching pass.
Couto slowing it down again for Portugal. Kozinecki has it back. Lucky to survive the challenge from Rui Costa, and was then brought down.
He's actually been involved more, Prosinecki, than any of the games I've seen. He had a decent second half, was it, against Denmark, but he's been a disappointment for me. But he looks as if he's taking the responsibility on. Be it Boban not playing or whatever, he's decided he's got to be the man.
Secretario stopping another excellent break by Jani down the left. Flicked on dangerously by Pamic, who's going to cause a few problems to Portugal in the air. It came off the defender behind him, so he's won his side a corner. I think even he would be the first to admit he hasn't got the skills of Schuker, but he certainly poses a different sort of problem. There, got that one away, and a strange miscue by Mladenovic. Embarrassingly for him, taking the ball out for a throw-in. The Benfica player with the throw, gets it back again. Now, Pavic. Handball, was it? It was a very loud appeal. It'll be interesting to see that one again. The linesman was well placed, the referee looked at him, and the flag stayed down. Beautiful skill, Paulo Sousa. Now Sapinto. Luciano helping it on to Secretario on the right. Prosinecki, Mladenovic, Bilic. Blajevic taking up a good position here and pushes a useful-looking ball through. Bahia goes to ground immediately and had to, as Jurcevic threatened. Now then. Oh dear. What do you think, Ron?
Penalty.
Absolutely.
It's not a penalty, hasn't been given, but should have been a penalty, definitely. You know, he exaggerated the arm movement, if you like, the defender.
Well, as we've often said, if the referee had the benefit of pictures as conclusive as that, there would have been no doubt in his mind whatsoever.
Whilst his body was turned in towards goal, by the way, the linesman wasn't far away from that looking in. I just wonder whether the linesman had a particularly good view of it. I would have thought he did, actually.
There were no great appeals from the Croatians, I have to say, but play continued so quickly they didn't have time to. Slaven Bilic. Could be a difficult ball for Portugal. Couto just got there ahead of Panic, and Luciano completed the clearance. Figo dispossessed, and Portugal have just lost the script a little bit since taking the lead. Croatia have enjoyed a lot of possession in the last 15 minutes or so. Prosinecki for them. Blajevic. Bilic, who joined West Ham back in February. Karlsruhe, he'd been 2 years in the German league. Mladenovic finds Panic in an offside position. Free kick. Croatia topped their qualifying group for these championships, ahead of Italy, incidentally, and actually beat Italy 2-1. They won 7 games, drew 2, and lost only 1 in their qualifiers. That one defeat coming against Ukraine in Ukraine. They beat Italy in Italy. Rui Costa. Secretario making ground down the right, finding Rui Costa again. The back heeler was pretty ineffective. But here's a player, I think, in Rui Costa that a lot of clubs around Europe would like to get their hands on. He plays for Fiorentina in Italy. Prosinecki in possession now. He's just completed his first season in Spain with Barcelona. Moving down the left again. Soldo in support this time. Yanni makes another fine run. Luciano intercepts. It was all getting a little untidy out there, and Portugal get the throw in. Blajevic is 61, incidentally the oldest coach in these championships. And the 4th different man that Croatia have had in charge in the last 3 years. They've only been around as a separate entity since they declared independence from Yugoslavia for 5 years. So the failure rate amongst his predecessors pretty dramatic. Ivanovic with a layoff. Pavlicic. Now Prosinecki. Simic has not left this right flank. It's not really getting Croatia anywhere at all. They're keeping possession.
But that's always been a Portuguese trait as a team. They've always got back to when they've lost possession in the past, and in this game they've always got back to the halfway line, retreated there, and then start defending from there. And they're quite happy, except for him. He's not too happy, by the way. But they're quite happy for Croatia to have the ball in their back line and pop it about a little bit.
Definite trip there by Yanni has earned him a caution, the captain. Used to play in Italy for Juventus, and in fact won an Italian championship medal with Juve. Still no goals, incidentally, at Hillsborough. Denmark against Turkey, 0-0. So if the scores stayed that way, there's a long time to go, of course, over an hour, then Portugal would go through as group winners, in fact, and Croatia as runners-up. Strangely enough, apart from having to pick the ball out of his net in the 4th minute, I think it was, Mrmic, the second choice Croatian goalkeeper, has hardly touched the ball since. Bilic. Portugal seem to have just dropped down a gear and accepted that Croatia are going to have possession.
Well, this is what they want to do, is try and bring them forward in open space so they can have good room to counter-attack, because they've got some very, very bright people. That's a foul, I would guess.
Certainly looked it, but the referee has not penalised Pavlicic for what looked an obvious body check on João Pinto. Prosinecki feeds Yanni, ever willing down that left-hand side. And the cross towards Jurkovic, taken off him by Elder. Rui Costa with a glorious ball out to the right, and they've got a lot of players in support here. Just too far in front of Rui Costa by Sapinto.
I think where they've been very, very good, very, very quick to exploit Portugal. Whenever Gianni's come forward, because he's looked Croatia's main threat, but as soon as they've won back possession, they've been prepared. Portugal have been prepared to throw the ball back into the space he's vacated. Particularly Sapinto, he's gone out there an awful lot and caused us some damage.
We're in the 32nd minute, and I'm pretty certain this is Portugal's first corner. Lifted up high towards Couto, and the dramatic effort turned in. Yes. João Pinto adds the finishing touch, and for all Croatia's possession, it's Portugal who get a second.
There it is, a big out-swinging corner. Couto, I think it is, just keeps it in the box, and then it's a combination of the two Pintos, Sa and Joe. And a nice, once again, bright feet. Watch the bright feet here. He just keeps in the box. That's acrobatic, but that's a quick touch and a quick, tidy little tuck into the corner of the net.
And Couto scored against Turkey, having a vital part to play in a goal that could well now ensure his team's passage into the quarter-finals.
Yeah, he did well. He didn't go for goal. All he did was more or less drop the ball off in the danger zone and keep the pressure on.
But Croatia must feel hard done by. They've had the ball almost exclusively for about 20-25 minutes. And with a second goal down now, as Couto has to defend this time in his own penalty box. Dimash with the clearance. Well, it just goes to prove in football that having possession of the ball isn't everything. The coaches will tell you it's a crime to give it away, but it's also a crime to have it and not do anything effective with it. And Portugal, from their first corner, slammed in their second goal.
It's also surprising when you consider the size of the Croatian defence. Some of the players they've got in there, that they should get done on the first ball in the air.
Dimash gets it clear. Nice little touch by Sapinto. Figo having his shirt pulled there by Jurcevic. Luciano. Rui Costa. Well, let's hope we see a little bit more of Portugal in an attacking sense now. That kind of football, that's what we want to see. Brilliant run forward by Elder. They went into their shells after scoring the first goal. There's no reason to do that now. They can be a bit more adventurous, though, of course, the priority for them is to get safely through to the quarter-finals.
But I think it suits them, Alan. I think it suits them to sit back, defend deep, let the Croatian team come onto them and have space for counter-attacking.
Am I being naive in expecting them to try and entertain us?
I think they are entertaining.
They are now, yeah.
I think what they're doing, they're sitting and saying, come on to us, and then we'll spring at you.
They are the kind of side, I'm sure, that football fans love to see. And in fact, the coach has said that he likes them to play entertaining football. It's one of his principles in the game, Oliveira. He says we want to entertain people and play crowd-pleasing football. And my goodness, they've certainly got the players capable of doing that. Here's one of them, Rui Costa. And Croatia seem to have been badly affected by that second goal. They're looking a bit of a shambles at the moment. And that was a shambolic tackle, certainly, by Pavlicic. His second bad one, and this time he doesn't escape without a booking. And I felt that he didn't deserve to from the first challenge he made, so a bit of justice has been done here. Yellow card for Pavlicic then. He plays in Spain for Hercules Alicante, who've just won promotion to the top division in Spain. But the Spanish referees will be hard down on him if he tackles like that next season.
Yeah, when they go to ground from that distance, they've got to make absolutely spot-on sure they're going to win the ball, otherwise it's inevitable they're going to finish up in the book. He's taken some stick of Joe Pinto at the moment, but he'll be quite happy. A goal in the bank for himself.
He's got to go off for a moment. João Pinto, player who I know interested Liverpool greatly a short while ago, and probably interested a lot of other clubs as well in Europe. Oliveira, who's only been coach for Portugal for the last 18 months, looking concerned at the arrival on a stretcher of one of his star players and his second goal scorer today. So he'll check on his state of fitness before deciding on any substitutions. And meanwhile, from the free kick, what do Portugal have in store here? Rui Costa playing it wide, in fact, to Luciano. Couto is in the centre, was headed away from him in the nick of time there by Soldo. Then Couto went down off the ball. And one or two of the Portuguese players are trying to tell the referee how they saw that. Vidic is holding up his hands.
It looked at Alan, I think I saw it pretty well. I think they had a tangle. I don't think there was anything violent or anything with Slaven Bilic. It looked an out-and-out tangle. They both competed on the first ball here. They're tugging and shirting away. Oh, he's left the foot up. In all fairness, he has left the foot up there. I still don't think it was quite worth the drama we saw.
Luciano in possession for Portugal. Pursued by Panic and then brought down for another free kick. One of the veterans of the squad, Luciano. He's 34 next month and has been an international for 11 years. This is his 42nd cap today. And here he is again. Secretario to Rui Costa. Sapinto. Great break down the left by Dimash. He really drove that one in. They say get your crosses in with pace, and he certainly did. Not the best angle. Incidentally, if you didn't realise, João Pinto is off the stretcher and back on the pitch. Portugal won a qualifying group for Euro 96, which actually included both the Republic and Northern Ireland, and only lost once in 10 matches. That was against the Republic of Ireland in Dublin.
I saw that game, and I think it was one of the best Irish performances I've seen, you know. And one of the big success things, I know.
Dimas just holding off the challenge there from Simic. Good football again by Portugal. A good determined challenge by Simic to win it back. Couldn't quite thread it through there for Blajevic. Unlucky.
I was just about to say there, Alan, one of the things the Irish did exceptionally well that day in Dublin was they pressurised. It was a tremendous team performance where they pressurised people and didn't let them set up these little quick, bright passing moves. And you just wonder whether maybe the Croats ought to be looking at that a little bit more.
Simic sliding one in. Jurcevic with the shot. Bayer with a dramatic save. And at the end, an effective one. Luciano has given it away. Set up for Prosinecki. Couto with a good interception for Portugal. They can break quickly here. Figo pulls away to the left. Couto with a bad ball in the end.
Yeah, took the wrong option there, but this is the shot where the goalkeeper, I think, plays a safety save here. I think he makes sure he parries it away from the danger zone. But you see, when Couto made that break again, straight away, they were looking for the space that Gianni had just left.
Vidic. Prosinecki. Soldo to his left, and Gianni again out on the left flank. Comes in field instead to Pavic. Couto leaving it this time to Paulo Sousa. And now João Pinto. Sapinto in support. João Pinto is hammered to the ground again. Elder. Paulo Sousa finding João Pinto. Prosinecki stopped that particular Portuguese attack. And the Croats back in possession again. Not Stimac, he's not playing. Vidic, I should say. Prosinecki now. Well played, Simic. And that's a good ball through. And a chance here for Blajevic. Well, the man who scored the winning goal against Turkey as a substitute. Close to giving his side a bit of hope before half-time.
Yeah, he showed there again that blistering pace he's got. I mean, it's a lovely ball played through a gap. Simic is actually well fouled on this side of the field. The referee wisely let play go on. Good crack from Blajevic, but he's just too tight an angle.
Became his country's youngest ever international, incidentally, Blajevic. Just 19 when he won his first cap. He's still only 23. It's a youthful squad that Croatia have. But they're two behind here. However, a reminder again that they are already through to the quarter-final, irrespective of what happens today. They have a much-changed side, lacking their major stars. Despite that, they've had a lot of possession, but Portugal have had the killer touch in front of goal. Oh, tremendous tackle there by Dimas. Now Luciano helps it on. Soldo there ahead of Figo. It's a throw-in. And before play continues, I think Vidic might require some treatment here. Vidic is down on his haunches, but the referee has waved play on anyway. And there'll be a few West Ham fans anxious. It's their man who had a marvellous introduction to life at the Hammers. Fans really took to him. He's still limping away inside the Croats half of the field. Now we'll see how good he is. He's got the ball. Still looking a bit uneasy. Good interception. Now João Pinto. Ahead of him is Rui Costa. Sapinto. Brilliant run by Sapinto. He felt he should have had a free kick for that, but I think the referee was right that time. Bilic is all right. He went careering through that tackle. Rest easy at Upton Park. That's a good-looking ball in. And the back heel to Oceano, and a very acrobatic effort by him. They do play some terrific stuff, Ron, don't they?
Yeah, I was going to say they're high in confidence at the moment, wasn't it? That's the mark of a team that are leading the game. This could be dangerous with Vlahovic. Good goalkeeping, great goalkeeping.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Bahia. There's Dimas for Portugal, who lead 2-0 here as we reach first half stoppage time. Frustrating decision there. That should have been a Portuguese throw-in, surely. Soldo, Yanni outside him as he's closed down. And that was not the wisest ball, perhaps. He measured it just about right. Oceano wins it back. Couto. Now, Sapinto has it again. Now, the challenge there from Pavlicic has brought him down, and Pavlicic, having earlier been cautioned and got away with a foul before that, had better be very, very careful. He isn't convinced that he fouled him at all. He thinks this was play acting, but that's a foul by anybody's book.
Certainly dramatic, and I think that's probably saved Pavlicic going into the book, you know. But when either of the Pintos are about, you know, some of their players have been terrific. João Pinto or Sá Pinto, they've been so lively, so bright, so creative. You always get the feeling that whenever the ball's at the feet, something exciting's going to happen.
Well, maybe something exciting is going to happen here from this free kick. I've seen Couto playing for Porto hit them from this kind of range before. He's one of the options here. Paulo Sousa, the Juventus player, also over the ball, and João Pinto. In fact, it's set up short for the free kick, for the shot by Couto, and it wasn't the best effort. Some rumours that he was about to join Glasgow Rangers, but that transfer seems to have got stuck in the pipeline. Plays for Parma in Italy at the moment, the Portuguese number 5. Pinto. And that's the end of an excellent first half from Portugal's point of view. Croatia, for all their possession, didn't really look that dangerous in front of goal. João Pinto scoring the second goal after Figo had given Portugal an early lead. And Portugal halfway to the quarter-finals. The score here, Croatia 0, Portugal 2. There's been a host of substitutions made during the half-time interval, and I'm glad to say the Croatians, in terms of entertainment, have brought on 2 of their star players, Šuker and Boban, 2 of their biggest stars perhaps, and Asanovic is on now. I've lost count of who's gone off. We'll come to that later, but straight into the action here is Šuker. And almost finding one of the other substitutes, Asanovic, but Portugal have possession again. Boban gets his first touch as well, so obviously the coach, Blažević, has grown impatient with the second string, if you like, and brought on 3 of the first string instead. And that should certainly liven things up here for the second half. Asanovic gets possession, sends it back to Yanni. A good attacking left-back this fellow is. He's got forward with great purpose and skill down that left-hand side. Certainly, I think it's one of the aspects of these championships they could improve on. We have all this technology to let us know what's going on, but here are 3 half-time substitutions, and they still haven't told the spectators or the TV commentators who's gone off. We're going to have to work that out for ourselves. But now now we're getting some help. And you can probably see them there. Boban and Asanovic and Shuka all coming on. A terrific run here, but won back again by Kotu.
It's hardly surprising, Alan, at least that Pamic has gone off. The big striker. I mean, he was having an absolute nightmare, wasn't he? Contribution was little or nothing. He's gone.
Boban in possession, lifting one over the top to Vlahovic. The ball spins through to Figo. Now, holding up on this right-hand side is one of the Portuguese changes as well, because there was another one that took place at half-time with Domingos coming on for them. Soldo stopping him in his tracks. With a long ball forward, one back by Kotu. Rosaniecki is one of those who's been substituted, incidentally, for Croatia. Must have been a flurry of activity in the referee's dressing room at half-time with all those changes. But hopefully, as I mentioned, it should spark things off for Croatia, because certainly three of their brightest stars are on the field now. So any possibility of them having a rest has quickly disappeared. Asanovic, the man who has joined Derby County, and what a signing he promises to be. He's looked terrific and does so now as he goes down the left-hand side and is stopped by Secretario.
I think it also gives lie to the fact that maybe the Croats weren't interested in the result. Obviously, the coach has been well stung at half-time, and he doesn't want to see them made mugs of.
Asanovic will take the corner. Flicked on dangerously to the far post, and that was a real chance then. Well, Boban hasn't been on the field for long, but has already made some useful contributions, and as Soldo set him up then, he will feel, I'm sure, that he should have scored there.
It's incredible that Soldo got so much space at the front post to get the little touch on.
Just to clean things up for you, Sapinto is the Portuguese player who's been substituted by Domingos at half-time. Now then, Jurcevic going forward for Croatia. Incidentally, that qualifying match defeat against the Ukraine I mentioned in the first half, it's the last time Croatia lost an international of any kind, and that was 12 games ago. So it'll be a considerable scalp for Portugal if they can win this, irrespective of the fact that Croatia made so many changes and took a rather lackadaisical attitude, it seemed, to the first half. And hopefully the arrival of Asanovic and co will get them playing again. I just heard from Hillsborough that Denmark have taken the lead against Turkey. Denmark 1, Turkey 0. And Ryan Laudrup got the goal there, so if Portugal get to hear about that, it might give them the little impetus they need to pick up their game again. Although remember, if Portugal win here, it doesn't matter what Denmark do. In fact, even a draw is sufficient for Portugal. Asanovic for Croatia. Foul on Shuka. Luciano the culprit. Hasanovic will take the kick. Soldo and Pavlicic, the two centre-backs, taking up a position on the far post, and he looked for them. Portugal did well to survive that one. There's their substitute, Domingos, who is yet another of the Porto contingent in their squad. Good play by Rui Costa to get it back from Paulo Sousa. João Pinto with a good ball to Secretario. Portugal back in their rhythm again in this attack. And they'll get a free kick for that challenge by Soldo. Plays for Croatia Zagreb, who did the League and Cup double in Croatia last season.
That's hardly a free kick, is it?
Very harsh. Rui Costa will take the kick. And that header almost tested the goalkeeper. Domingos, the man who came on at half-time, came on as well as a substitute in the opening game against Denmark. Climbed well.
Yes, he's got some good... He's really got off the ground there.
Paulo Sousa. Cristiano doing well. Portugal's throw. Of course, what that flurry of activity at half-time has meant is that if Croatia happen to get an injury here, they're in trouble because they've used all three of the substitutes they are allowed. So I don't know whether he's taking a bit of an unnecessary risk there, bearing in mind they're through to the quarter-finals anyway. You wouldn't want an injured player to play on and risk making the damage even worse, so he's taken a bit of a gamble there, Ron.
Well, I think, basically, like we're saying, I think his pride has been stung that much that he doesn't want to see his side made mugs of.
There's Figo. Run down the left by Dimash. It was a very good tackle to stop him from Simic, who seems to have dropped into a slightly deeper role now as a result of the personnel and tactical changes Croatia have made. Dimash again. João Pinto. Cristiano making the run forward. This is Rui Costa. The clearance by Pavlicic. Soldo helps it out, and that was a foul on Boban, but the referee has waved play on as they're in possession here. And Vlahovic couldn't keep it on the field. Portugal were in stunning form in the qualification competition for these championships. They averaged almost 3 goals per game. Before today, they'd had rather more trouble in front of goal in the finals themselves. But they have shown us in each one of their games that they are capable, if they can put away their chances, of being prolific scorers here too. They've probably wasted as many scoring opportunities as any country in these championships so far.
And yet today, probably scored with their only 2 chances.
Ironic, isn't it? Yeah. 10 minutes into the second half, they still lead 2-0. And Portugal, whose previous best ever in a major tournament was in England 30 years ago when they got to the semi-finals of the 1966 World Cup, Eusebio and all, and lost to England. Where were you that day? It's one of those days we all remember. I was on holiday in the Isle of Man, never forget it. João Pinto with the cross, and that should have been a goal. And he will know it. Domingos, guilty of a miss.
Oh, that's a glorious ball in. Plenty of space to throw it into, but he's thrown it in just right. Domingos coming across the line. Really should have just took that either side of the keeper.
Great chance for the man who was top scorer in the Portuguese last season. with the Portuguese league with 26 goals, which helped his team Porto to the league title. But that was a bad miss. And that could have put the issue beyond any shadow of doubt. However, Portugal are threatening again here. And they backed off and let Figo get the shot in. And I'm glad to say they've picked the pace up again now, Portugal, Ron.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about from the Croats' point of view, though. I've seen them in their previous games, been very, very impressive defensively. Today they look so disjointed, everybody looks all over the show.
And they were almost penetrated again there. Domingos yet again found himself almost in a scoring position, but here's Schuker linking again with Blajovic.
I think they give themselves a lot of problems, the Croats, at the back when they're trying to play this offside. Now, when they've got the units of Jerkin, Stimac and Bilic, that they look as if they're very well tuned into each other. The people are playing at the back today, the new people, Soldo and Pavlicic, don't seem to know, but they don't seem to be all on the same wavelength.
Here's Asanovic. Lifted high, but Blajovic was offside anyway. Well, Croatia have got the big guns out there, but at the moment they are not really threatening to change the course of this game, despite their noisy and colourful support. Not many fans here, Croatia, as you'd expect, but they have certainly made a contribution to these championships. They've been impeccably behaved and have brought a real splash of life to all the venues. Certainly their team has made a major contribution so far and might continue to do so yet. A bit of skill in possession there by Boban. He was quickly closed down by Paulo Sousa.
Sometimes think as well, you know, when the coach makes so many changes before the game, it gives the team that impression that it maybe doesn't really matter that much. And that sort of, you know, that may have transmitted itself through, because they certainly haven't played with it with that much fire in them. They've played nice, but not with any real fire and passion about it. I'm sure if it was a knockout stage now, we'd be seeing a very, very different Croatia to the side we've seen today, both in terms of personnel and in terms of commitment.
And I suppose, to be fair, these players have played a couple of high-pressure games in a very short space of time. They are through. They're bound to take the foot off the pedal a bit. Anyway, Portugal aren't. Rui Costa for them. Domingos got into a good position again, but he couldn't find him this time. Blajovic, Boban, and the ball spins loose to Jurkovic. Asanovic opens play up beautifully to Yanni. Figo. Well, you get the impression somehow there might be more goals in this game. Figo lifts one over the top, and a good ball too. Excellent challenge though by Simic. He's dropped into that sort of right back role and certainly shored things up down that side. Stopped Dimash then. Yanni. Paulo Sousa. Luciano. Now Figo. Rui Costa. Still Rui Costa. And he was dumped to the ground as he tried to get on the end of the 1-2 from Domingos. Free kick to Portugal, who are ready to make another change now. Rui Costa is the man who's going to be replaced by Pedro Barbosa. You'll see more of him in this tournament. You can bet your life if Portugal go through, he is one of their key men. The scoring Lisbon player, Pedro Barbosa, takes his place. It's only his 10th international appearance, this. Going forward dangerously, and there was a flag there which indicated offside, I think. Yes, that is the decision against Şüker. At Hillsborough, it is still Denmark leading Turkey by 1-0. But remember, if the scores stayed that way at both venues, then Portugal would be the team who would go through to the quarterfinals as winners of this group, and would therefore meet the runners-up of Group C, which is going to be, I would think, either Italy or the Czech Republic, though Russia are still in there with a glimmer of hope. Quite a complicated group, that one. Will all be settled tonight. This group will all be settled in under half an hour. Boban scored a second goal in the 3-0 win against Denmark. A brilliant through ball by Şüker, who scored the other two, one from the spot, and another exquisite chip of Peter Schmeichel, and he almost scored the goal of this, and indeed any other tournament, almost from the halfway line. Šimić getting forward. Denied by Paulo Sousa. Boban. Asanovic. Oh, that's a great little ball by Asanovic, and it was a shame from Croatia's point of view that Blajovic couldn't do better.
Yeah, I don't think he knew whether to stick or bust on that one, Blajovic. I think if he didn't think he had the option of just helping it back into the runner, but there's a little ball in here. Blajovic might even have gone for a volley on this, I felt, but he's just tried to lay it back. I think it's into Boban's run. It may have been better just taking a chance and saying, what the hell?
Bilic with the clearance. It's gone straight to Paulo Sousa. Now Figo for Portugal. Domingos ahead of him.
They do love that, don't they? Picking it up in midfield, the Portuguese, and running and just feeding it into a front player and then just going on for the flick on.
The best midfield players in the championship so far, would you think, Portugal?
As a unit, they've played very well. I wouldn't say that. I mean, if you've seen the Germans look very impressive in midfield. In a different way to this. These are entertaining, they're bright, they're sharp, they're lively. But the Germans have that, if you like, menace about them.
That's a lovely word to sum them up, actually, menace. Now, Croatia trying to look menacing. Asanovic settles for the throw-in. Holds off the challenge. Now, what does the referee make of that? It was a 6-1 or whatever the Portuguese for that is. But anyway, the free kick has gone in Croatia's favour. Bit of tugging by both players, I felt.
Well, I think one, and I think it was a Croat that was doing the pulling. I think he's lucky to get that free kick.
Boban will take it. He might even have a crack here from that angle. Take the throw as well. Asanovic. Yanni. Oh, a mistake there by Elder. He was rather lucky to get away with that. Jurčević leaving it down that far side. And was that a foul? Yes. Şüker looking suitably disgusted. Stoichkov's about that reaction. Şüker takes his place in the penalty area for the free kick. Bilic is up there as well. The referee wants Croatia to get on with it. Certainly in their interest to do so. And a header across goal by Bilic had Portugal in some disarray, but they've got away with it. João Pinto dispossessed by Yanni. Now Soldo. like this all day. We've seen enough of them to know that, but to get a goal, just got to up the pace a little bit here now, perhaps. Bilic. No way to Elder. Good football by Portugal. Domingos just dispossessed, though, by Pavlicic. Oceano wins it back. Now João Pinto. Again.
He's a little imp, isn't he? João Pinto, I mean, every time the ball comes to him, you've got to have an expectancy from him.
Here's Paulo Sousa. Good ball, and here's your man again, but this time he loses control and loses the ball to Boban. Schuker's made a great break down the centre. They haven't seen him yet. And given away carelessly there by Jurcevic. João Pinto again. Barbosa, the substitute, not making an impressive contribution then. Asanovic for Croatia, who are 2-0 behind here. Yanni in possession for them. It's a free kick now by Secretario. He must be one of the better players in his position, Yanni, in these championships. He looks very, very effective. Quality player. Used to play, as I mentioned before, for Juventus, and is now with Sevilla in Spain. Moved for £3 million. Here's Soldo with a crack. And given the chance again, he might have thought better of it. Tavares about to come on here for Portugal. So I've kept up with the changes. It's 3-2 on substitutions to Croatia, but 2-0 on goals to Portugal. Jurcevic in possession for Croatia. Simic gets it back to him. Good link-up play on the right, and they've got plenty in the penalty area here if they can get the ball in, but they can't. Referee thought about a free kick, but as wave play on. João Pinto. And he appeals against Soldo's challenge, but no free kick again. The referee keeping play moving here. Elder gets it clear. Domingos. João Pinto in support, edge of the box, and he finds him. The layoff to Figo. It wasn't a bad effort, but it was never likely to beat goalkeeper Mernic. Now Portugal will make their change, and it's Paulo Sousa coming off. Key man in their setup as well. They've taken off 2 of their top midfield players now, and Jose Tavares, who plays for Boavista, comes on for the 3rd time now in 3 games as a substitute.
Which suggests that the coach thinks that they're just preparing now for quarter-finals.
That Nielsen has scored a 2nd goal for Denmark up at Hillsborough, making it now Denmark 2, Turkey 0. So the Danes are doing their bit. But remember, only 1 point is needed by Portugal, and as there are 20 minutes to go and they're leading 2-0, it seems likely they're going to get all 3 and win the group. And win me a few quid off Messrs William Hills. That will make a change. I had a little treble of England, France and Portugal to win their groups. Portugal will complete the picture.
It's a very, very good shout, that, I would think.
I hope so.
So you were well pleased when he made 7 changes today?
Unbiased and impartial as ever, Mr. Atkinson. How could you suggest otherwise? Schuker going forward for Croatia. And Vlahovic twisting and turning, Secretario with the challenge, and Croatia have a corner. It's true that Blažević, the Croatian coach, said he'd rather play Germany than, assuming that Germany finish as winners of their group, he's going to get his wish if they lose here. Good catch by Ia, who's had little to do, truthfully, today. I must go along with what Bob Wilson said at half-time. It does seem a strange principle to actually want to play Germany, Ron, doesn't it?
Well, I think you only really want to play them in a final, don't you, if you're in a tournament, but...
He must have his reasons. At the moment, he's going to get his wishes, as I say, with his team down. João Pinto threads one through the legs of the defender. Cheeky bit of skill to set up Jumindos, and back it goes to the substitute, but the bounce took it safely to Mrnić.
I mean, I think that's been one of the big differences in the two sides. I think one is that there's a greater desire from Portugal than Croatia, but the other thing is they do tend to try and get midfield players through a little bit quicker. I mean, there's very few occasions when any of the Croatian midfield players have actually gone past the ball. They've supported from behind the ball, they've passed the ball forward, but I don't remember on too many occasions when the midfield players have raced forward. Like here now, if Suka wins that, there's not really a midfield player latching onto it.
Coutu comes forward from his defensive role. Now João Pinto. Oh, great running. And they've got chances here. They've got two men unmarked in the middle. Oh, and Tavares just couldn't get the right ball through. And in any case, there was an offside.
But once again, you know, it's exploiting that space that Gianni's left. Whether that's just coincidental or whether it's something the Portuguese team have consciously worked on. But every time that they counter-attack, they throw it into the space where a normal left-sided defender would be.
Hasanovic. Šivić. Boban wanted it, but he's chosen to go for the cross instead, and it comes to Vlahovic here. Chance for him as he goes down. He appeals for a penalty, but the referee looks impassively on. No penalty. Well, seen and given, as they say, Ron.
Yeah, I think his legs seem to just crumble a little bit. He may have been helped a bit. I wouldn't have called a penalty on that. In fact, I thought as the ball was starting to fall for Vlahovic, he could have fallen a little bit further forward, he'd been snapping his shot in.
Here's Bilic. Hasanovic. Strange one, that. Has picked out Yanni, but there were two men well placed in the middle. And in all honesty, this match, as we move towards the final 15 minutes, has an air of inevitability about it now. Croatia, who knew even before kick-off their place in the quarterfinals was safe, are going through the motions somewhat, and Portugal, with a two-goal lead, must feel they're safe as well. But who knows, maybe a goal for the Croats here might change things. They're absolutely loaded the penalty area with players here. Hasanovic will take the kick. Well, no one was expecting that. Back in it goes again. Bilic beaten to it by Coutu. Now Boban. Lovely little change of direction by Boban, and curls one in invitingly toward Bilic. Goal kick though. Well, assuming, Ron, that these two are safely through, I know there's still permutations about who they'll play. How much further progress would you see them making?
The Croats are a difficult side to sort of assess. I mean, they start. You always get the impression there's a lot more in them than they show. Certainly, they're not playing with their strongest possible team, and they've got strength to come in. But we're talking. I heard Graham was talking about Prosinecki, how he's been a disappointment in the tournament. I also think Boban has, and I think if they're going to make the progress they would expect to have made, I mean, as you say, quarterfinals is quite an achievement. But if they're going to be somewhere near the winners, those two have got to start living up to, if you like, world reputations there. The Portuguese are certainly, they would certainly upset anybody. I fancy a physical side would upset the Portuguese a lot more.
Here's Asanovic now for Croatia. That's a great effort! My word, that could have been a contender for goal of the championship so far, had Bayer not made that excellent one-handed save.
I was going to say, be interesting then to see how good a save it was. It is a good save, I think it's a smashing save. You rightly say, great shot from a distance. Asanovic, who's been one of their successful players in the tournament. That's a good curling ball going away from him, and good strong arm from Bayer.
What a thought for the punters at the baseball ground next season. He's going to be one of theirs. What a good signing for Derby. Along with Stimac as well, they'll have a Croat flavour to their first season back in the big time. Came off Secretario, it's another corner. In very deep, and the shot was blocked by Coutu, and the rebound put wide by Boban.
Yeah, he's hit that one on the full, hasn't he? Second one he hasn't got hold of Boban, but the first one was a good effort. But that's one of the few occasions, that and the goal he scored on Sunday when he came in on the end of the cross. I haven't seen many occasions when they've actually driven from the midfield into the penalty box.
Well, can't remind anyone who's maybe joining us late, having come home from work, that if Portugal do win this match by 2-0, as they are leading at the moment, then they will go through to the quarter-finals of these championships as winners of their group, and Croatia, even though they might lose here today, are definitely through anyway. And in the other match affecting the position in this group, Denmark are currently leading Turkey by 2-0. Denmark have to win that to have any hope at all, but if Portugal take so much as a point here, the holders are out anyway. Here goes Šuker for Croatia. Good cross. Figo in a bit of trouble, facing his own goal. Boban came to win it back, and Lajovic, funny half, hit that shot. For Croatia, seemingly on the way to their first defeat in 13 internationals. Boban. Secretario took a strange option then, but got away with it. Yanni. Šuker was being held there by Secretario. Free kick to Croatia. Ilic has come forward and gesticulated towards the taker Yanni that he wants it in his area. He got it, it's exactly where he wanted. And the shot was off target from Lajovic, but not that far off, I think.
Here's that big left foot in. Bilic contests the ball, doesn't really get a header on it. In fact, it's Coutu, and he gets the header, drops down, and he shins it. It's more of a shinner than anything else there from Vlahovic.
Certainly goes down as a chance, and he had one in the first half as well. And this second half follows the pattern of the first, when Croatia had a lot of possession, didn't do much with it, and suddenly conceded. Then Portugal are about due a goal here. Tavares for them. Ciano. Secretario. Now given against João Pinto. Pavlicic. Oh dear. Played it straight against his own man, and Domingos could punish him for that mistake. Portugal are on their way to the quarter-finals. And to add a little bit of spice, they're going to win the group as well. Domingos, the scorer, but what a mistake by Pavlicic here.
Yeah, I think in many ways sums up Croatia's afternoon. I mean, sloppy, untidy defensive play by Pavlicic. But I mean, a great break from Domingos, and he's tucked it away terrifically. But I mean, that was it. I mean, it's lethargic, it's lazy. It's not really the way you play a 1-2, is it?
An assist for Bilic that he won't want to appear on the record sheet. I was just saying that Portugal would due a goal. I didn't expect it in that fashion, nor did they.
No, but I think that sums up the Croats' sort of, if you like, mental attitude, mental way of they played the game. They haven't really been switched on.
So Portugal can relax now.
And you have to say, in the advent of bringing on three of their better, or so-called better players, hasn't really been any improvement. There's no real improvement this half as there was first half.
I think, in all honesty, wouldn't you say they've been a bit half-hearted? Mind you, there's a mistake, has given Asanovic possession, and should have given him a goal. Mistakes at both ends, one punished, the other not.
Yeah, I mean, he looked to have done everything right there. I mean, he's not too dissimilar to the opportunity we've just said Domingos put away, but well, he's actually well wide, really. I thought he just grazed the post when I saw him nudge it, but still, I suppose he should look at it philosophical and say, I hope if we won one in the next round and I get that same chance again, the odds are I'll stick that away, because he has been one of the better players, and not necessarily today, but in the tournament for him.
Well, excellent running there by João Pinto. Domingos, scorer of the third goal. His 8th in international football in 29 games. Portugal is the cry now from their contingent that they got here at the City Ground. Portugal are going to end up winners of Group D.
It's interesting how many goals have been scored in these last stage games as well, isn't it? I mean, early on goals were at a premium in the early games, but now all of a sudden we seem to have seen a flurry of goals in all the matches.
Yes, I think Euro 96 has come to life in more ways than one, thanks principally, of course, to England's dramatic contribution last night. And I must say as well, to the Scots' fantastic effort at Villa Park. I felt very much for Scotland last night. I think over the 3 games they probably were just as worthy to go through to the second stage as the Dutch, who had taken their place. Incidentally, Denmark have just added a 3rd goal. Ryan Laudrup 2nd of the game to make it Denmark 3, Turkey 0 in that game. So they've done their best, the holders, but their best is not going to be good enough. Portugal win here, it's not an if anymore, they're through. Asanovic for Croatia, who are also going to join them in the last 8. Jurcevic. Boban. Ooh, the mistake then almost let Vlahovic in. and it's gone a bit sloppy all over the park now. Principally because, although the clock is showing 4 minutes, the match is effectively over. And I suppose it's the sort of day when almost everyone's happy. You don't get many games like that in football, but Croatia are through, Portugal have clinched their place. No one's going to be too disappointed at the outcome here. Schuker taking it down beautifully and trying a little chip. Just got it wrong this time. Yes, that's what he meant to do, dink it. Got it right against Schmeichel, but not this time. I think he could open a can of beans with that left foot, Ron, couldn't he? It's terrific.
Yeah, I mean, against Turkey, you know, he's very, very poor. Now, he had a great second half, didn't he, against Denmark? He hasn't really, even again today, justified the big, big reputation he's come over here with.
Here goes Asanovic, trying to get something back for Croatia. Luciano holding off Asanovic. O2 plays it forward, and a lot of men in this attack again. Barbosa, one of the substitutes. And Domingos in a good position inside the penalty area. Couldn't pull it back in time. They might have had another goal then.
I think you'll find when Stimac plays, you know, I think you'll find he occupies this left-hand side of the three-man central defence, and he will cover that space when Gianni goes forward a lot better than Soldo's done today.
Tavares. Another crazy little rebound there, but this time Croatia get away with it. Well, both Denmark and Turkey have made their contributions to the championships, but I don't think anyone could seriously argue that the best two teams aren't going through. The best two teams are out there now. Figo, who scored the first goal, way back in the 4th minute of the game, winning the ball back again, leaving it to Barbosa. Well, he tried to catch the late run by João Pinto. Asanovic. Živic.
I think looking at Croatia as well, I don't think there's many of those that started the game as, shall we say, reserve players playing for the place, have really pushed themselves into contention for the quarter-final game.
We ought to remind people who didn't see the start of the game that Croatia made 7 changes from the starting lineup for their previous game against Denmark. Although 3 of their star men are back on the field in this second half, they've only really been going through the motions, frankly.
I don't think this fella has.
No, he hasn't. I was going to say
Asanovic is certainly all right. He's missed the best chance, or one of the best chances. But his attitude's been spot on. The ones that have disappointed me, quite honestly, have been Boban, Suka, and to a certain extent Prosinecki. You know, you'd look upon as their major players. They'll certainly require those against, if it is to be Germany, they'll certainly require those to be right spot on.
Here's Gianni. Gets it back and hits it brilliantly, but too high, and I think you have to credit the defender, Elder, for making the challenge then. He really struck it well, but he was forced to get underneath it because Elder challenged him.
Could have been an exciting goal, that couldn't it? Played it through Vlahovic, great layoff, and I must admit I thought that was going to rip the top of the net out. I mean, with his left foot as well, but that's smashing play, that. Yeah, I think I'd love to have seen a goal to finish that up with.
They're on their feet behind the goal, the Croat fans there, celebrating the goal that never was. The referee's having a look at his watch now, and Portugal are about to clinch a victory that will ensure they go through to the quarterfinals, and Croatia along with them despite their defeat. Now they're on fire Milivojevic by Secretario. Boban in possession. Jurcevic. And that's it, it's all over. Celebrations all round, ironically. Most of them for Portugal, of course, because they turned on the style at stages of the game today. And with 3 goals have ensured not only their passage through to the quarterfinals, but their victory in the group. And we will see a lot more of both Portugal and Croatia in the later stages. Final score at the City Ground then, Croatia 0, Portugal 3.